Most men misunderstand attraction. They believe women sleep with men only because of love or physical chemistry. But that's not the full truth. In reality, desire is psychological. It's built on 4 hidden emotional and mental triggers that pull a woman closer, even when she tries to resist. These triggers go beyond looks, status, or charm. They're rooted in how you make her feel, emotionally, spiritually, and subconsciously. And if you understand these 4 reasons, you'll begin to see the silent psychology behind her actions, the same psychology most men never notice. This is Stoic wisdom, understanding human behavior without judgment and mastering it through awareness. So let's uncover the 4 hidden reasons that drive women to sleep with men. Reason number 1. Emotional validation. She seeks the mirror. Every human being craves validation, but for women, it's deeper. It's not about ego. It's about emotional reflection. She wants to feel understood. She wants to feel seen, not for her body, not for her beauty, but for her essence. When she meets a man who listens, not with words but with presence, something inside her shifts. She feels a quiet connection forming. And the strange thing? She can't explain why she feels drawn to him. It's because he's mirroring her inner world. He's calm when others are loud. He's grounded when others are reactive. He doesn't interrupt, doesn't seek attention, doesn't compete for approval. He just exists with awareness. That's powerful. Because to a woman, that presence translates to safety. And when she feels emotionally safe, she begins to open. Not just mentally, but physically too. This is not manipulation. This is understanding human need. Women often confuse emotional connection with intimacy, and a man who radiates calm, confidence, and silence becomes a mirror for her emotions. She sleeps with him not out of lust alone, but because she sees herself in his stillness. She feels like she belongs there, in that peace he carries. And that's something rare. Most men talk too much. They try to impress, to prove their worth, to show off their emotions. But the Stoic man, he lets his energy speak louder than words. He becomes her mirror, and she, unconsciously, wants to be closer to that reflection. Reason number 2. Power and mystery. She wants to feel the flame. The second reason is less emotional and more primal. Women are drawn to power, not the loud kind, not the one that tries to dominate others, but the silent, controlled, unshakable kind. The Stoic man doesn't need validation. He doesn't explain himself to anyone. His silence isn't emptiness. It's power. It's control. It's mastery of the self. That kind of man creates an emotional mystery that most women can't resist. They don't understand him. And that confusion fuels attraction. Because what we don't understand, we want to explore. What we can't predict, we want to uncover. When a man holds back his emotions, not out of fear, but out of discipline, a woman feels the tension. That tension is energy. The fire between two people that makes attraction so intoxicating. She might even get frustrated by his calmness. But secretly, that frustration keeps her thinking about him, because she can't decode him. And when she can't decode a man, he becomes the puzzle her mind wants to solve. That's the essence of masculine mystery. The more emotionally stable you are, the more her emotions will spiral around you. And that contrast, her chaos against your calm, is what creates physical chemistry. She doesn't sleep with him because he's perfect. She sleeps with him because she feels alive in his presence. He makes her heart race, her thoughts spiral, and her emotions awaken. Power isn't about dominance. It's about control, especially control over yourself. And in that control, a woman senses something rare. A man who's not moved by temptation, who doesn't beg for attention, who stays still while everyone else chases. That's the man she desires. Because deep down, she knows a man who can control himself can also control the moment. Reason number 3. Rebellion against boredom. She craves emotional escape. Here's something most men never realize. Many women don't seek intimacy as a reward of love. Sometimes they seek it as an escape. Boredom is poison to the feminine mind. Routine kills her emotional energy. When life becomes predictable, she starts craving something, or someone, who breaks that monotony. Enter the Stoic man. He's not chasing her. He's not trying to entertain her. But he lives differently, with passion, purpose, and calm intensity. He's unpredictable in a world full of repetition, and that unpredictability triggers her curiosity. To her, he becomes an escape from her ordinary world, not because he's wild or reckless, but because his mind is deep. He doesn't react emotionally. He doesn't live for attention. He's just quietly, dangerously alive. She finds herself drawn to that energy because it awakens the part of her that's asleep. The part that wants to feel adventure again, passion again, emotion again. And when that spark ignites, desire follows. She might not even understand why she wants him. But deep inside, she feels that being with him makes her feel something, and that emotional experience becomes addictive. So she sleeps with him, not to possess him, but to feel alive again, to escape her emotional numbness. And once she experiences that intensity, she can't forget it, or him. Reason number 4, the subconscious desire for power exchange. She wants to surrender. Now we reach the most hidden reason, the one that operates beneath logic and explanation. Every woman carries 2 opposing forces inside her: the desire to control and the desire to surrender. In the modern world, women are often forced to be strong, independent, and in control all the time. But emotionally, that constant control creates tension. So when she meets a man who's calm, emotionally strong, and grounded, she feels something she doesn't feel anywhere else. She feels safe enough to let go. That's why women are drawn to masculine energy, not for dominance, but for balance. Because in his presence, she doesn't have to lead. She doesn't have to pretend to be unbreakable. She can simply be. This is not about physical control. It's about emotional surrender. When a man radiates inner discipline, it signals that he's trustworthy. He's not ruled by lust. He's not impulsive. He's centered. And that emotional control triggers her instinct to relax, to soften, to trust. That's when connection deepens. Body, mind, and soul. She sleeps with him not because he demanded it, but because she felt safe enough to give herself completely. Not to please him, but because her feminine instinct found peace in his masculine stillness. The Stoic man doesn't chase this. He doesn't manipulate it. He simply lives in alignment with his truth, and that alignment draws her in, naturally, effortlessly, because a man who has mastered himself doesn't need to prove power. He is power, and that's what she feels, even when he says nothing. Final message: the Stoic truth. In the end, these 4 reasons: validation, mystery, escape, and surrender, all point to one timeless truth. A woman's attraction is not purely physical. It's psychological. It's emotional. It's energetic. She doesn't fall for what you say. She falls for what you are. Your energy, your silence, your stability. Those are your true weapons. The Stoic man knows this. He doesn't chase women. He doesn't chase approval. He chases mastery of the self, of emotion, of purpose. Because once you master yourself, everything else, money, success, attraction, relationships, begins to align naturally, and women, consciously or subconsciously, are drawn to that power. The power of a man who's untouchable, who doesn't beg, who doesn't break, who walks alone, but never lonely. That's the energy of a Stoic. That's the energy that silently says, I don't need you to complete me. I am already whole. And that, my friend, is what makes women truly desire you. Not your words, not your looks, but your essence. Because the man who doesn't chase becomes the one every woman can't stop thinking about. Subscribe for more powerful Stoicism and psychology. Comment Stoic if you agree.